Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we're going to be doing a hike in the Black Mountains of North Carolina. We're going to be doing a hike on the Deep Gap Trail, hoping to make it to Balsam Cone. It's just going to be an out and back hike. I'm going to hike there. Looking to get in probably around 8 to 8.5 miles. It's possible it may continue past Balsam Cone and go to Winter Star Mountain. Just going to kind of see how the day goes, see how things are. Haven't done a hike this strenuous in a little while, so it just depends on how I'm feeling. But it's currently about 9:05 a.m., July 27th, 2024, and it's currently about 57 degrees here at the trailhead. The weather should be pretty close to that. I think that the high may top out around 60 today, so I should have really good weather. Hope you enjoy the video. See you on the trail. So here's a closer look at the map. I'm actually starting here where this red arrow is. And the Deep Gap Trail is the Black Mountain Crest Trail. There's a section of it that runs so far to around Winter Star Mountain, I believe. But we're gonna try and make it to Balsam Cone. May continue on to Cattail and may actually continue on to Winter Star Mountain, which the distance of that is not even marked on the map here, but I've been to Mount Craig and Big Tom one other time before. Really great views along that stretch of the ridge line there, which we should be able to see again, depending on how the clouds are situated right now. Should be a really nice day for a hike. Not expecting to see any high winds or anything like that. So I think I timed this one fairly well. So always love the great smell of these pine trees through here. Smells like Christmas. Everything covered in moss. Tell you one thing that really fascinates me. Mount Mitchell is the tallest peak on the East Coast. And the mountain that sits right next to it is the second tallest. Right here in the same area. To me, that's just bizarre. So on this side of this open area here I'm walking through, nothing but clouds on that side. Then you have a view of the other mountains on the opposite side. Starting to get a little rugged. Slowly approaching our first peak, Mount Craig. Shouldn't be too much further. Just scrambled over several little rock faces. Just enough to get the blood pumping. Going straight through there. Nice look out here on the left side of the trail. This little overlook opening area. If you look back that way through the trees, you can see the parking area up there for the state park and near where I parked as well. So far, I haven't really encountered any other people. Just been me, butterflies, birds, and the flies. So I officially made it to Mount Craig, altitude 6,663 feet, named after Locke Craig, who was once governor of North Carolina from 1913 to 17. He was also responsible for the establishment of Mount Mitchell State Park. Just some brief history. There is a lot more than that, which I'm not going to attempt to cover in this video. But there was, if I remember correctly, a quarrel between him and Elijah Mitchell, who Mount Mitchell in the park is named after. So feel free to do your own research on that. You will find tons of interesting information. Now we're making our way to Big Tom Mountain, named after Big Tom Wilson, who, if I remember correctly, is the individual that found Elijah Mitchell when he fell to his death over what is now known as Mitchell Falls, which is very difficult to get access to, visit legally. So that's the next peak on today's hike we're going to encounter. So there in the distance between these trees, you can see a few of the other peaks. I'm not sure which one is which, to be honest. I'm not even going to try to do that, but I believe at least one of those we're going to try and make it to today. And that may be kind of our end point where we turn back. So I'm thinking one of those is Balsam Cone, the other is Winter Star Mountain. Don't quote me on that though. So I'm not going to leave details in this video of how to reach the old Cessna here just off trail. Have another video for that. You just go through my channel, you'll find it easily. Or just do a search for Mount Mitchell plane crash. You'll probably find it that way too. But I want to just step off trail here since it's pretty easy to get to. See if it's still here, which clearly it is. Some added graffiti on it though. Big Tom, 6,580 feet. Like I said before, Thomas Big Tom Wilson, famous bear hunter, found the body, as I mentioned. Whether he was really hunting bears that day or not, I'll leave that up to anyone to decide for themselves. This is Mount Craig where we just came from. And this is Mount Mitchell Summit right up here. We can see the cars and little buildings and the observation tower right up there. And then of course, you got the awesome ridgeline view here. And the peaks we're going to next. We'll check the map and see exactly which one it is so I don't mislead you again. But it's a pretty awesome spot right here. I believe coming up we may have a view of the other side, which we really haven't had yet. So looking forward to that. So I do believe after looking at the map, Balsam Cone is first, and then Cattail Peak is the second one that I just showed you in the last clip there. So this is going to be kind of a plunge down into the woods to climb back up to make it to the next summit. Check out that view with the clouds settling down between the peaks in the distance. Awesome. Very, very rugged through here. Some spots are easy going, some are not. Slow and steady. So I've reached a section here that has a pretty stout looking rope, which I'd read about. There was going to be a few sections of that, so I'm going to use it to help me scale down this rock face here. I can actually do it without it, but it does give one comfort knowing that there's a handhold to get them down, especially if this will be all covered in water here, which thankfully today is fairly dry. So here we go. Shortly after the last section, there's another section, a little bit longer, but terrain looks to be pretty similar. So just slow and steady to make it down. Last few tenths of a mile has been fairly easy going, but I know it's all going to change. Looks like maybe starting now. Up, up, up. All right, so we made it to a trail intersection here, little open area. We have the same map we saw at the beginning. Past Big Tom, about dead center between Big Tom and Balsam Cone. So the way I'm feeling right now, we're probably gonna push on to Cattail Peak. That's the way I'm feeling right now at the moment. Maybe there's something that lies ahead shortly I'm not aware of, but right now I think I'll push on. There's also a older sign here. It's really faded, but it says Big Tom on the top. And the second one, I can't even read. But this may be the Buncombe Horse Trail here that goes down that way. Possibly. But we're gonna push on to Balsam Cone. There's a huge rock wall here as I continue to make my way up to Balsam Cone. Straight up through there. So somewhere right around in here where I'm at is the summit of Balsam Cone. May actually be just a little ways past it. Did not see a sign anywhere. Didn't see a survey marker either. It's possible that I overlooked it. But we have made it to the summit of Balsam Cone. And I do believe just a little ways past it. We're gonna continue on to our next peak, which will be Cattail Peak. Did not make a note of the elevation at Balsam Cone. I do believe it is around that 64 to 6,600 foot range, somewhere around there in height. So there's another one off my list that I had not been to previously. And there was one little spot back there where you could kind of see off to the right that way. I hadn't really got a view of yet, and it was just completely covered in clouds. You can't see anything, so I just didn't bother showing that, but only a view to the left today, or at least at this moment. Still getting close to Cattail Peak. Just notice there's this huge boulder here that kind of has a rock overhang on it. You can almost camp right there if you wanted to, or at least sit there and hold out from a storm. I guess camping would be against the rules since we are still technically within the state park here. They don't allow camping except the designated area. All right, so I've made it to the official summit of Cattail Peak. There's a sign here, a little faded, but you can make it out. 6,583 feet, roughly 3 miles from Mount Mitchell. We'll take a little break here. And I think what I'm gonna do is head back from here. It's only about 11 o'clock. So I'm gonna have my lunch at either Big Tom or Mount Craig. And then I may venture up to the summit to see how the view is today from there. And after that, I may go do another shorter hike that I've had in mind for a while. That will be separate from this video, so I'm not even going to mention what it is. But if you're interested in future videos, I recommend you subscribe and maybe give this video a thumbs up as well. I'll probably throw in a couple other clips between now and when I make it back, but for the most part, I'm just going to enjoy the hike back. I do appreciate anyone who tuned in. And as always, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.